Are you looking for the best clicky mechanical switches? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best switches on the market. Before we get started with our video. Starting at number 1. Box Jade. Keyboard switch preferences are extremely subjective, but we recommend the Box Jade as the best clicky switch for most people. Note that the pricing for these switches can really vary on the total unit count you buy. We recommend shopping around as they're at their best value for around $0.50 per switch. These switches feel snappy and tactile, and their click bar design produces a loud, resonant sound signature click on both the downstroke and upstroke that's widely loved among clicky enthusiasts. Like all box design switches, these switches are also dustproof and a bit more resilient to minor spills, lending them impressive long-term durability compared to non-box designs. While some prefer the sound and feel of these switches stock, you can lube them yourself to dampen some of the harsher, metallic pinging notes that some like to minimize. Also, note that these switches are a bit on the heavier side. They're a bit heavier than the White Owl box switches, which are our recommendation for the best typing click switches below, so keep that in mind if you use your keyboard for long stretches, as your fingers may tire out. On the other hand, if you're looking for an even heavier, more tactile, and crunchy sounding alternative with the same box design, check out the Box thick clicky navy switches instead. At number 2. White Owl box. While the Box Jade above is our all-around best pick for typing, gaming, or just browsing, if you're looking for a clicky switch exclusively for typing, we recommend the White Owl box. These switches can be a little difficult to track down from online retailers, but you can find them directly from Kayla's website here. These switches have the same box design that features a click bar as the Box Jade switches above. However, they aren't quite as loud, and the sound they produce isn't as deep, but they carry a pleasant ticking sound when you get typing at a steady pace. These switches are not only quieter than the Box Jades but also noticeably lighter to actuate. Their spring tension provides a much more immediate force drop once you've passed the tactile bump. This makes these switches a favorite among typists, as once you get a feel for them, you can more comfortably avoid bottoming out on each key press. At number 3. Box White V2. For a more affordable typing alternative, we recommend the Box White V2 switches, which have a crisp, stable actuation and are much admired for their tactile feedback. They're also significantly lighter than many clicky switches and have an unusually long and responsive return spring, so they're a great choice if you love a click bar sound profile but are concerned about the heavier feel many clicky switches are known for. Due to their more budget price point, you may find the actuation feels less consistent between switches compared to higher-priced options on this list. These switches come pre-lubed from the factory, so they're also a great pick right out of the box if you aren't interested in opening and lubing your switches yourself. At number 4. Emu Blue. If you're working on a cheaper build and looking for the best clicky option, we recommend the Emu Blue switches. These switches may be around the same price as our budget pick from some major online retailers like Amazon, but you can often find them cheaper from smaller retailers, like Switch Captain here. These switches have a more affordable and mechanically simple click jacket design, producing their signature sound only on the downstroke. They're also loud, even compared to most clicky options. However, these are among the lightest actuating clicky switches available, so they're a great pick if you're more a fan of the sound profile rather than the heavier feel of most clicky switches. However, their comparatively simple design means they're less durable and stable feeling than a premium box switch like our best pick, the Box Jade. Some enthusiasts find these switches also feel fairly scratchy and produce a slight rattling sound. These switches offer reasonable smoothness, good tactility, and an ultra-lightweight feel at a price that's difficult to match compared to other clicky options, making them a solid entry-level choice.